It was one of those mornings when everything feels heavy. The air itself presses down on your chest, and even getting out of bed feels like climbing a mountain. I had been feeling it for days, that quiet kind of sadness that doesn't cry, just sits beside you like an old shadow. The world outside my window was the same, but I wasn't. I was tired, not the kind of tired that sleep fixes, but the kind that grows in your bones slow and deep. The old kettle sang in the kitchen, its whistle sharp against the silence. I moved slowly, my hands remembering every movement, even when my heart didn't. I sat with my tea in that same chair by the window, the one where your grandfather used to sit, and the light came in just like it always did, warm and soft on the floorboards, and still I felt nothing. The birds were chirping, the dog was lying curled at my feet, the cat was licking her paw on the windowsill. Life continued, but I didn't feel part of it. That morning I thought about giving up, not in a loud way, but quietly, like not answering the phone or forgetting to eat dinner, like letting the days pass without reaching for them. I didn't expect anyone to knock at the door, but then I heard her voice. "Grandma, are you home?" It was Lily, my youngest granddaughter, the one with the wild curls and curious eyes. She burst in like spring, her laughter echoing through the old hallway, and behind her a muddy puppy with paws too big for his body. "Look what I found," she said. He was alone at the park, and I knew you'd know what to do. She didn't see the sadness in my eyes, or maybe she did, but she didn't name it. She just handed me the puppy and sat at my feet like she used to when she was little. The puppy was shaking, tiny heart beating too fast, and I held him close, feeling his warmth, his need, and something inside me softened. She began to talk about her day, about the boy at school who didn't say thank you, and the teacher who wore socks with planets on them, and how the sky looked like vanilla pudding this morning. I just listened, and the minutes passed, not heavy, but gentle. Lily looked up at me and said, "Grandma, are you okay?" And for the first time in days, I told the truth. "I don't know," I said, "but right now with you here and this little soul in my lap, it feels a little better." She smiled and leaned her head on my knee like she used to when she was too tired to talk. We stayed like that for a while. No plans, no noise, just the sound of breathing and wind in the trees outside. That day, I almost gave up, but she and a stray little pup reminded me that life finds its way back sometimes quietly through the eyes of a child and the heartbeat of something small. I made Lily a sandwich, the way she liked it, with too much peanut butter and not enough crusts. And we sat in the kitchen, sunlight resting on the tiles like an old friend. She talked, and I just listened. There was a time I used to rush her to finish her stories to get to the point. But that day, I let her words wander like little birds hopping from branch to branch. The puppy snored in my lap, his tiny body rising and falling, and I felt my hands relax around him as if they finally remembered what comfort felt like. After lunch, she pulled out a picture she had drawn. It was of me sitting in my chair with a crown of flowers on my head and the puppy in my arms. "You're magic," she said. And I didn't laugh because just maybe she was right in some way I had forgotten. I used to believe in small magic, the kind that lives in fresh bread and handwritten letters and the smell of rain on warm soil. But I had stopped noticing somewhere between funerals and empty birthdays and the ache of watching everyone move faster than I could. That afternoon, we went outside, just the three of us. Lily ran barefoot through the grass, and the puppy chased behind her, clumsy and joyful, like he had always belonged. I sat on the porch steps, my knees stiff, my breath slow, but my heart was lighter. There were bees in the lavender, and the wind smelled like sun, and my neighbor waved from across the fence, and I waved back. Not because I had to, but because I wanted to. Something had shifted, not everything, but enough. Lily stayed until evening. We fed the puppy scraps from dinner and gave him a name, Oliver. She said he looked like an Oliver, and I agreed. She left after dusk, but before she went, she hugged me tight and whispered, "You're my favorite person in the whole world." And I held on to that like a thread stitched into the fabric of who I used to be. After she left, the house was quiet again, but not hollow. The puppy curled at my feet, and I lit a candle. Just because I wanted the glow, I sat in my chair and I wrote in my old journal for the first time in months. Not about pain, but about light, about the way her hair caught the sun, about the sound of her laughter, and the way a tiny dog can fill a space bigger than sorrow. Let me tell you something, if you ever feel like giving up, wait just one more day, because sometimes life sends you a child and a muddy puppy, and they arrive without warning, without grand gestures, without explanation. But they bring something you didn't know you needed, and suddenly you find yourself breathing again, not because everything is fixed, but because someone reminded you that you still matter, that you are still needed, even if only to hold a scared little puppy and listen to a child describe the sky. I don't know what tomorrow will bring, but tonight I am here with warm tea, a sleeping dog, and the echo of her voice in my ears, and that for now is enough.